All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to yet another episode of the Oval Ground Productions. As you can see, it's not the three of us today. It's just two of us, Adarsh and myself. Adarsh, where's the third guy?
I think he apparently has better things to do in life other than talking to us, talking about football. I think life has taken more priority for him. So, yeah, we're going to cut him some slack this time around.
All right, all
But
right.
you will hear about it in the next video.
For sure, for sure. Okay, diving straight into it, I think last week we were discussing about like has Manchester United turned a corner with their set of three back-to-back wins. Seems like someone was going to get a haircut at some point, but turns out it's Forest who has spoiled the party.
Yeah, I think Sean Dyche, again, when we specifically on that fixture, it's very interesting to see different takes on the corner kick.
Hmm.
Uh, People saying that it was a corner, people saying it wasn't a corner. But firstly, before we go on to that, what is your take on that?
I think it wasn't.
Yeah, even I agree. Even I agree. Like the ball did not, the whole of the ball did not cross the whole of the line.
Yeah,
But
and I didn't watch the game the weekend before. Apparently, Forest got hard done by even on that in that game where a corner was given, which was not supposed to be a corner, and they conceded from that again.
yeah, I think I remember it was off of the attacker's foot.
Yeah.
I don't know who tackled, but it was off the attacker's foot, and then they conceded against that. Who was it? I think it was West. Um, Forest, Bournemouth. Yes, yes, yes. I
Oh,
think
okay.
I think it was. I think the Tavernier direct goal free kick that was there.
Hmm.
This was specific to that. So it went off of Tavernier's like feet on when he was charging in from the right wing. Hit his feet, went off, and then he directly shot it inside the goal as well with the Sales mistake. But yeah. So again, I think Forest are turning a corner. But specific to United, I think this was something that was anyways bound to happen.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe they have to wait for another haircut. Whoever was talking about the title charge,
Oof. Yeah.
just
I think the title charge was a bit rich, to say. Yeah. But anyway.
yeah,
Yes, yes. But yeah, like you said, I think Forest seem to have been hitting the ground a bit more properly, along with like Dyche, Gibbs White scoring his first goal this season. I think
yeah.
not too far before we see the mighty Dyche Wood combo striking again. So let's see, let's see. Yeah,
Igor,
but
so I think from a few players that caught my eye, I think Savona was very from a Nottingham Forest perspective, and then I'll move on to United as well. Savona looked very nice. Uh, Igor Jesus also was actually pretty good. I think he's gonna make. I think when Wood does come back,
mhm.
if Dice does go back to a 4-4-2, that's gonna make it very interesting.
Yeah,
So these two players really caught my eye, and of course Morgan Gibbs White, who's always the bridesmaid rather than the bride. There was some interesting way when he finally got a goal.
yeah,
I think with respect to United, Embuemo, rather than being the shot taker this time around, was the prime assister. Uh, Now this is an interesting question. Given all the defensive midfielders returning, is Casemiro actually somebody who we should think about?
nah.
His goal threat, Defcons. So that's again that's one of the things that I do want to bring up. Maybe that's also something once Chimpy comes back, we could talk at length next week during the international break.
Yeah,
But
but
at the same
like
time,
just my like quick thought on that when you said it is I just feel when you play in a two midfield kind of a setup, especially he's partnering Bruno, who's supposed to be like who is the creative force, not supposed to be, he's the creative force. Like Casemiro's job is not like what you see what Caicedo does or Rice does and so on, where they are doing the traditional box to box thing. And when their teams are more attacking, there is a higher chance that they are also involved in the creation or at the culmination of a goal.
No, no, that's fine. So again, this is more purely from a set piece threat. He is the Gabriel for United. He is the person they look out for.
Mm,
Who else is a great header? It's a Maguire or a Casemiro. And how many times has Casemiro actually scored for United from a set piece? With Bruno delivering the balls, I think he's a very decent option, especially if he's hitting defcons every time. One thing I don't really, one thing I'm not really sure about is him finishing off 90 minutes every game. That's a
mm.
problem. But otherwise, why not? He's 5.5 mil. It's a decent option to put him on the bench. Again, flip side is Anderson also somebody who we should look at. He's 5.3.
Yeah.
He's hitting defcons every other game. He's one of the midfielders who's had it 5 times out of 10 weeks. Why not? 4 points every other game.
Yeah, so that's the thing
It,
with a 5.3, 5.5 pick. I think you're caught somewhere in between. With a 4.5 option, you are always thinking, oh, you know what, this guy is going to be on my bench with like a
yeah,
very last ditch effort of me trying to squeeze him into my team if the fixture turn is very bad. Uh,
yeah,
However, then I'm looking at the 6.5 bracket where I have my Rice and Caicedo and Enzo who are now like in and around that 6.5, 6.7 kind of an area. So where do I actually fit them in? Where if versus a 5.5 and a 6.5, I'm like, oh, it's just 1 mil, but they offer so much more, potentially offering so much more. Like
yeah. Fair,
as much
fair
as
point.
let's say Casemiro is a set piece threat in some way, I feel from a again, I'm going back to that what like FPL has also put in terms of the influence, creativity, and threat metrics. Casemiro definitely scores high on the threat one, but I think
Mhm.
influence and creativity wise, you have the 6.5 guys in Rice, Caicedo, Enzo, these kind of players where they offer so much more. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. Yeah. I think on to the. Is there anything you want to specifically cover other than that from a United perspective?
No, just that the
Then,
last bit I wanted to cover was seems like I got the result right. We had all three results here,
yeah,
and I got the prediction quite right there. Yeah, we can move to the next game.
yeah. Again, even I got it almost banger. If not for the I think Savona was the person who scored the second goal. So if not for the Savona goal,
Come on, it's like
but
saying,
again,
oh, you know what, you need to score a goal to win a game. Come on.
no, no, but again, yeah, because Forest did 2-1 first before United. So again, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
gotten it right anyways.
yeah.
Uh, On to the next ones. We started with United. I think another point we were quite keenly debating on last week was Liverpool. Have they actually turned the corner? So between then and now, I think Liverpool have uh, won their Champions League game versus Real Madrid. They had again they've beaten Aston Villa as well. Uh, Again, convincingly from the scoreline perspective, but I'm not really sure. So what's your take on that game? How did you see that game? And
I
then we
think the
move on to the
both the
real
goals
update
that
as
they
well.
scored were more because of Villa's mistakes than Liverpool doing anything of their own. Uh, they were looking quite decent, honestly. And it kind of deflated, right? When you're going to Anfield playing against Liverpool, no matter what form they are in, given how they have been for the last 7, 8 years in general. Um, that mistake just deflated their uh, confidence in some way for that game. And then why can't I recollect the second goal? Can you remind me
It
who
was a
scored the second one?
Salah, Salah goal.
Salah scored the first one, right? Martinez back pass and Salah
Salah,
scored.
correct. Let me just give
Oh,
you
I miss
that
Chimpy with all his stat
with
pack.
all the stats.
Yeah,
Gravenberch.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. The Gravenberg goal again. That was again a deflection. So, I mean, yeah, here and there it's okay. But In fact, were you able to catch the Madrid game last night?
I did watch some of it. Yes, I did watch some of it.
How were
Again,
they?
my take on the Madrid game was personally I felt it was very a dry game compared to the usual attack from both the sides.
Hmm.
Uh, One thing I'm very impressed by is how Liverpool were able to contain the Real Madrid attack. I think Conor Bradley, for example, did quite well. Which segues into one of the questions that I do want to ask is uh, with the fixture turn that Liverpool is coming into, uh, is a defender the main person who we need to think about from a Liverpool perspective,
I think
rather
I
than
have
anything
my
else?
answer very clear in my head. It's a definite no. Uh, because I just don't feel that they have the right balance. I think even against the Villa game, that was the first game, by the way, where Robertson started,
Yeah.
and they were able to get a clean sheet. So, I mean, they're still figuring that out. Right back, whether it's going to be Bradley full time, which I think will be the case. But then again, in the Madrid game, Robertson started again. So, what does that mean for Kirkez? Where does he
So
fit into things? Yeah.
when I'm specifically mentioning about defenders, it's either Konate or Van Dijk. That's it. There's nobody
No,
else.
no, but as a
Now, what?
defense, I'm saying, like, sure, they are a
Mm,
goal threat, but beyond that, as a pure
yeah.
clean sheet unit, I don't see Liverpool as my go-to choice right now.
So given the defcons coming into play, does clean sheets actually matter these days?
Oh yeah, it does.
Defcons.
I think we are getting spoiled by the whole, like most people have this Arsenal double defense and they're just racking up 12 points, like six from each of them. Like you're not valuing it enough. But once those 12 points fade off and become 4 points, then
Mm,
you'll be suddenly like, oh shit, you know what? I want people who keep clean sheets.
fair enough. Fair enough. One thing that I did notice uh, from the Liverpool Real Madrid game, which again none of the pundits are gonna talk about, is the mode in which Liverpool did score their goal. Apparently, it was a set piece. McAllister had a goal, but again, I don't think anybody is gonna talk about that or more on that later.
Yeah,
But since we're on set pieces, uh, Arsenal Burnley. Again, I'm not going to talk much about this particular game because I was practically burnt, and I saw a huge red arrow for me because of my last minute decision. Uh, but yeah,
yeah, which
thoughts on Arsenal
was
Burnley
like
game.
just share it out loud. Which was
Yeah, it was basically a last minute decision to switch captains from Gabriel to Eze.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, Eze was practically as far away from the goalpost as possible.
yeah,
This is my second time captaining Eze this season, which is crazy. But yeah, we move on. Hopefully, able to claw back the ranks with some better decision making.
yeah. And just on the Burnley game, by the way, just closing out in terms of predictions, Liverpool, Aston Villa, all of us got it wrong somehow.
Yeah.
Teams like this bunch of people on this weekly stuff that we are doing want Liverpool to lose, which is not the case, but it's just that I mean, which might be the case for what teams we support, but then yeah, not so much. But anyway, all of us got that wrong. That's the answer.
Yeah.
And on the Burnley Arsenal one, seems like I got it spot on. So yeah, thank you. Just for everyone watching, the table below shows us what happened to our predictions from last week, and quite clearly by a healthy margin, there is someone who has topped the charts. So yeah, not bad, not bad. Let's see
I
what
think
the
I
next week
think you won
brings
the
up.
battle. Let's see about the war.
All right. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it 1 week at a time for now. Yes. And I think the Burnley Arsenal game, pretty good. I watched like some analysis here and there as well. Like Burnley were defending as a 6-3-1 kind of a unit, which is very difficult. I think the whole argument about, oh, you know what, I'd watch Arsenal play some more expansive football. You can't really play expansive football when the opposition has six people in one row defending the entire line, right? So, but nevertheless, I think they tried to play well. And this is my thing about either teams play this super low block and cut out all kinds of, any scope for expansive football. And that is because they fear that if we play like man to man, ball for ball, we are going to get wrecked. And that is
Yeah,
exactly what happened in those few minutes, probably like 5, 7 minutes of football, when Burnley were closer to the Arsenal box, although they didn't trouble the goalkeeper. Uh, the second goal actually came from that.
yeah,
Like quick 1-2, Gyökeres put like a whooping ball down the left
beautiful
wing.
ball.
Uh, Trossard picks it up, puts it in. Rice makes a dashing run inside, scores a header. That's that. Packed 2-0, sealed and done. That's
Guess
what
who was
you
beside
get
Rice?
if, huh? Sorry,
Guess who was beside Rice?
is it?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that doesn't matter. Rice scored, but my limited point being that if teams start to attack, which is why what Palace played was actually pretty good, although they ended up
yeah.
losing. They waited, and they were like, and they are really good on counter attacks, and they were able to find a lot of good positions and moves. But yeah, that's what you're getting when you face Arsenal. Yeah,
I think you from a Palace perspective as well, the quality of players also matter quite a bit. Like overall compared to a Burnley, but I agree with you with respect to uh, how one of the things that was very refreshing for me to see as an Arsenal fan is Arsenal scoring on a counter attack. Like
yeah,
that was, that second goal was brilliant. Now, one point that I do want to bring out is in that particular game, Gyökeres getting injured, um, and then Merino coming on. That was very, very interesting. Now it remains, and thankfully, the international break is coming for Arsenal at the right time because there's a lot of injuries that has piled up for Arsenal. One good thing for Saka owners is that Saka is going to take penalties if there's any coming in, similar to what he did with Slavia Prague in the midweek during the UCL.
yeah.
Now it's for the next week that's going to come. It's going to be a very interesting game with Shaka playing against Arsenal, which we'll anyways touch upon. But I think Arsenal uh, retain this clean sheet streak that they're on with 8 consecutive clean sheets that they've
It's
put
nine, by
on.
the way, after the Slavia game.
Yeah, again at this point of time, but yeah, it's quite crazy that the the previous one is the previous one is the I think the Arsenal equaled when this game happened was a 120 or 130
Sorry,
year
yeah,
before
yeah,
by
yeah.
Preston
It's
North
it's
End.
it's it's 1903. Arsenal's last
Yeah,
9 game clean sheet winning streak, but it's like a double. Okay, I'm not sure of two things here. In 1903, we kept 9 clean sheets in a row, but I'm not sure if we won 9 games in a row at that time. This time,
no,
it's
the
like
stat I'm specifically talking about is I think it was a Preston or somebody else,
so. It's Preston and
where
Liverpool who hold the record for one more game
correct,
beyond this. Yeah.
correct, correct, correct,
No, no,
correct.
I was talking about
So,
Arsenal's. We have equaled Arsenal's joint record.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But then Liverpool
I think
and
next
Preston
game,
are one better. Yeah,
I think next game we will come back with the right stat
yeah.
or the next video. But again,
Or
it
just the right
really shows
person.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. But it really shows the 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 kind of stat, like the amount of years we have to go back to see how significant this particular kind of record that Arsenal is currently on, where uh, with so much talent that's there from an attacking point of view, and it's not like Arsenal haven't played any of the bigger teams or any of those big teams who have potentially good strikers as well. But again, it's a great it's a great run that Arsenal on, and long may it continue. So that my hot take from the start of the uh, podcast does come true. But fingers crossed on that.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I think we can cover the game above Arsenal, the first game that we had last game week, which was Brighton versus Leeds. Both of us got the prediction right. Chimpy predicted a draw. Thoughts on the game? My early thoughts, I think Brighton looks so good attacking wise. Like they just look so good. Uh, and that brings me to one of the other things where a dilemma potentially. Uh, is it actually time to get a Brighton attacking asset? As much as Welbeck's in hot form, I feel over his long drawn career of all these years, whenever I had him as an FPL asset, I've kind of burned my fingers because unfortunately that guy gets injured or something or the other.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at Minte as the option. Um,
Yeah.
and we can come to that towards the end when we discuss the FPL teams and team dilemmas. But yeah, great win for Brighton. Looked beautiful. I saw not the entire game, but a bunch of extended highlights. The third goal that they scored with Jorginho Rutter doing some magical stuff
Yeah.
with Diego Gomez finally finishing it off. Really, really good. Yeah, they look like they're kind of back again in their groove, like their whole attacking groove that they have. Yeah.
I think it also has to do with how Leeds afforded space for them as well. Uh, so I think nothing specific to add, but Minta is a really, really good asset. He's finally clicking. Uh, Now you have to think about what Newcastle have done. We spoke about this earlier as well. Like they let go of Minter, they let go of Anderson as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, nothing specific to add here. I was just waiting for another Rodon goal, which is why because of how susceptible Brighton are potentially from a set piece routine as well. And I only thought that Leeds would only score with a set piece, so Rodon became even more important. So
Mm.
played Rodon, benched Joao Pedro, who was my first sub. So again, there was also another set of points that I let go of.
Yeah, yeah. And like I briefly mentioned this last week with Daniel Farka in general on how I see it and like
Yeah,
how I feel somewhere he's a bit scarred with his previous
correct.
Premier League campaigns. And I feel it's turning out that way again in some way where it's kind of like, oh, we are okay to drop points away from home. It's anyway expected that we would drop points. And they are trying to create a fortress at home. But
And
when you are actually up against quality opposition, then you might lose the home games as well. And then
yeah,
you are in a like no man's land and losing points left, right, and center. So I really feel uh like I fear for Leeds, honestly.
so yeah, fair enough. I think, but the only difference here is one, he's more experienced, and two, Ellen Road is a difficult place to go to. Like they are at it in those games. So there's going to be slight difference. I really do think Leeds are going to stay up, but we will see.
Yeah, but
Moving on
I,
to the
I mean,
next.
I feel they'll be in that 16 to 20 bracket anyway.
Sure, sure, 100%, 100%. I don't think they're going to be as successful as I think Sunderland would be.
Yeah,
Who would be pretty safe by Christmas, January-ish.
yeah.
But let's see how that goes.
Let's see.
Moving on to
Coming
Palace
to
and Brentford.
yeah.
If there's anything,
Oh, Palace Brentford. I actually expected Brentford to offer a lot more attacking wise, which is why I'd put like a 2-2, where I felt it would be more similar to the Palace Bournemouth game, where
mm,
both teams are very good attacking wise. But what I saw in this game was there is a reason why even in FPL a lot of people own Palace defensive assets, not just for their attacking threat, but also some kind of surety that they offer in terms of their defensive organization. And that really shone through in this game against Brentford. I think Brentford just couldn't create enough. And it just turned out to be a very clean, regular, routine weekend performance
yeah,
and win for Palace. Yeah.
yeah. Another very interesting thing about Palace is that is that on top for XG with
Yeah.
18 some 18 point something, which is very very surprising, given that they sold their second best attacker in as a uh, for the or second best attacker or one of their best attackers 2 seasons running. Yet they
Yeah.
still find themselves somewhere and there and thereabouts, which is very very interesting to see.
Yeah,
And again,
I love them as a team. I just hope they are given a bit more firepower in Jan.
yeah,
Otherwise, they'll just lose team in no time. Yeah. And by the way,
yeah,
that
for
that
sure.
just brings me to that thing where Arsenal play Palace in the League Cup fixture, and if I'm not wrong, Palace are playing 3 games in 5 days, 4 games in 8 days, 5 games in 10 days,
Correct.
uh, which is what I fear the most for them. And it's going to be super difficult for them because even for the League Cup game, they actually played like a full strength side against a
Yeah,
very, very young and new Liverpool, fresh look Liverpool team,
correct.
which they beat. Yeah,
Correct. Correct. And the latest news is that Crystal Palace have asked to move the Leeds game, which is one of the games that's in between, in that four
I
games
think
across
that
eight
there's the
days.
same request Arsenal have also made to move the Everton game.
Correct.
But
So
I don't think that's happening because there's no window to play the other game.
because the game
Especially with
previous,
yeah, especially with 8 Champions League games happening. Earlier, you would have a
yeah,
window in middle of Jan between like after the FA Cup game, and then you would have an international, not an international break. You would have a full week off, and then the week after
correct.
you would have 2 full weeks off. Those cover the seventh and eighth group stage fixtures in Champions League now. So there's literally no window.
Uh, Correct, correct. And uh, I think they faced City also in one of the neighboring weeks, so they couldn't move that particular one because that's going to be a televised fixture for, I think, Sky. So there's a lot of fixture mishaps that's happening, and unfortunately, Palace is feeling the brunt of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Speaking of taking the
I think
brunt,
other
I
than,
think we can move to the next one where Fulham Wolves, and this is
yeah,
kind of I think I touched upon this last week where unfortunately Wolves will lose. I want Fulham to win because they're a good team. They've been on the bad side
yeah,
of luck, but yeah, this was the game that uh, I don't know led to the sacking of Vitor Pereira. I hope he finds
yeah.
a new club soon. Yeah.
I think pretty straightforward. Very interesting that Sessegnon finally got back into a scoring run. But other than that, there's not many people uh, that looked like they were at it. Uh, Again, even without a striker, Raul Jimenez did not finish the entire 90. So Goa did look at him as one of the other options. Again, Thiago was also somebody who did not, or who wasn't as uh, effective from those cheap 6.5 million forwards. So I think only Welbeck is right now firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, nothing else specific from that. Wolves is pretty like a team to target these days. Uh, Interestingly, I think they are trying to talk to Gary O'Neill
Mhm.
for a return,
Yeah.
and maybe even uh, I think maybe even who else was being spoken to for the Wolves job? Eric Ten Hag. Yeah. So even Eric Ten Hag was also being spoken to. But yeah, it could be a return to Gary O'Neill or return for Gary O'Neill rather.
Which looks the most obvious one.
Yeah.
Again, I feel Ten Hag taking the job. I mean, I don't know how it's a different size of club for him, and then for
Hmm.
the club management to also manage a manager like Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag will have to take a huge leap of faith to say that, hey, I would want to manage Wolves and be in the Premier League again. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Fair enough.
All right, the next one, Tottenham Chelsea. The only person who got the prediction right is the Chelsea man himself, Chimpy. Uh, we got a 2-2 and a 3-3 for our predictions, but then it ended up in a 1-0. Spurs losing again at home, getting booed at home, and yeah, seems like a very tough thing. I think Spurs have 3 wins in their last 18 games, home games, or 5 wins in last 18 home games, something like that. They just seem like a team who are only good on the road.
So I think the stat for me from a Spurs perspective is uh, Arsenal have lost six more home games than Spurs in their new home. Arsenal moved to the Emirates in 2006. Spurs moved to their new stadium in 2019. I think that's
Yeah,
the stat there.
I
It's
know
just
you were going
crazy.
to come up with that, so I give the
Yeah.
other stat where they have 5 wins in 18. So yeah.
But I think this game, uh, how Pedro was at the right place at the right time, but the goal is just because of Caicedo's tenacity. It wouldn't have happened
What a
any other.
player.
It's he's just I think should be in the top three players, best players right now in the league, who's on top of their game right now, along with Haaland. Third
Yeah.
person is up for debate, up for conversation, but he should definitely be up there. And thankfully, we're saying this when the Chelsea fan is not here, so that we're not gonna hear about it. But again, being a Kudus owner, I'm concerned. Being Enzo and Joao Pedro owner, I didn't see enough, honestly. So I'm just waiting for the Wolves fixture, and then I'm gonna ship them out.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
that's about that.
Yeah, and this is the classic case, right? Why like this week, all Van de Ven owners who put him on the bench the week before and he got like
Yeah,
23 points. We
yeah,
like people, most people started playing him this week and he didn't do
yeah,
anything.
correct.
And then turns out in the midweek in the Champions League, Van de Ven has scored almost goal of the season contender. What a
Yeah,
goal that was. What a
he's
run. Oof.
he, he did a Son and a Bale kind of a run and finished it. It was a very very good run, but again, you have to keep in mind that it was Copenhagen.
No,
Uh,
no, 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 no. Let's not downplay the goal. I think it was a phenomenal run for a center back to do that, weave his way through five, six, seven players, and at the end of it, actually finish it off. Like,
yeah,
yeah, like running 70, 80 yards of the pitch. I think in the end, you might just, be put in a very tired shot, but he like blasted it and finished it off superbly well. Yeah,
so Van der Ven actually has this tendency of doing this previously as well. He's done this when I think last season also he did a similar slaloming run. Rather than finishing it, he made an assist for somebody, if I remember correctly. So he has this tendency of doing this.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, that
His
doesn't stop the
yeah, his
yeah
close control with the ball is really good. Like, uh,
yeah
there are people who are just fast, and then there are people who are fast with the ball. I think
correct
Van de Ven is both. He can chase
yes
players down when he doesn't have the ball, and he's also extremely quick with the ball.
yeah very very interesting that you brought that up. So this is one of my observations when I look at somebody like a Martinelli or a Gyökeres. They are pacey without the ball, but when they have the ball at their feet, again, this might be me being super critical about both of them, but I see them lose a couple of yards because
Yeah,
they're running with the ball and they're thinking, oh, what do I do with the ball now?
yeah, yeah,
But Van der Ven does not have that tendency. Van der Ven is like a Rafinha, a
yeah,
Sane at his peak. Like they just blast through without any worry for the world.
yeah, yeah. Super. I mean, for that matter, even if you see Gareth Bale in his prime, he would push
Wow.
the ball ahead and then he would run. No, no,
Sprint.
but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there is that difference. He would not like be very in close contact and keep running. He would push it ahead and then go and catch it. So he's also
That's
the
why I'm not
former type. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm not mentioning Mbappe also. Mbappe also does the same thing. He hits the ball and runs. Whereas,
Vinicius, I
again,
think, is fast with the ball as well,
I
rapid with the ball.
100% agree.
Yeah,
I was just going to say Vinicius, and it's refreshing to see somebody like an Lamine Yamal as well, who
yeah,
is also very, very rapid with the ball, especially when he's doing those small, small adjustments with his feet when he's running with the ball. Again,
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very random, very, very off topic.
Yes,
Quickly
yes.
moving on to the
True.
last two, three games.
I think we have
I think,
West Ham Newcastle. I just want to, continue the loop on the whole Champions League fixtures and from
yeah,
one Van de Ven epic goal to another Dan Burn epic header.
wow.
Some people have started calling, oh, can you hit like a proper finesse shot with the head? Because Dan Burn's header literally like swirled into the net.
Yeah,
Oof.
very banana peel goal.
Yeah, yeah. Lovely
Extremely
goal.
crazy.
Lovely goal. But there
So
was
again,
disappointment for Newcastle over the weekend. They lost to West Ham. I think Nuno's got his team right.
which is very, very interesting. Especially, I looked at this patch of fixtures that West Ham had, which is why I went and invested in Bowen. Maybe I was too early, uh, and I got a very lucky assist the previous game week as well. But it's refreshing to see West Ham coming back, beating somebody like a Newcastle. Especially Newcastle was touted to be one of the best defenses in the league by around game week 6, 7.
Yeah,
Hitting 3 goals against them is not a very, 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 very easy task. But then they were able to do it. Nothing specific from them. It was very interesting how the FPL towers chalked off Bowen's assist because
hmm,
it bounced off of Pope before Suchek hit him with his second attempt, which is why Bowen's intended pass
yeah,
never came into being. But other than that, nothing specific. I'm looking forward to West Ham playing Burnley next week, which
yeah.
you will see predictions again.
Yes, yes. All right, on to the next one. City Bournemouth.
Nothing, nothing. I don't want to talk about this game.
I think no, the week before I bore the brunt of not captaining
Yeah,
Haaland, and seems like you took the baton from me and captained some other Arsenal player again, and didn't captain Haaland. You can't just avoid the robot. I mean, you just can't.
again, so I expected better of Bournemouth. I think they got their tactics wrong. They played a very, very high line against somebody who is so fast, who has in his 3 years at City has only been offside 18 times. He must be doing something right.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, another
like,
player who is rapid with the ball. Yeah. Just
yeah, 100. Oh, he's
mm,
not even. He's just phenomenal with the ball.
yeah,
He
yeah,
just he just carries it so well. But yeah, I think uh, I thought Iraola would do better. Unfortunately, they didn't. I'm happy that Haaland was taken off early so that there was no hat trick for me to feel bad about. But yeah, that's about it. And
yeah.
nothing more.
Seems like I got the prediction spot on again. But yeah.
Very, very spot on.
Yeah, pat on the back. And moving to the last game, where again I got the prediction right, but it turns out it was a 1-1 instead of a nil-nil. Sunderland Everton. The reason why I expected to be in a draw in the first place was I feel Sunderland are in a very good place, of course, and they have been doing well, which probably was the reason why, like, you also went for a win, predicted their win. I mean, you can add more on that, but I just felt somewhere there is still that thing with Everton where, you have a very seasoned manager in David Moyes. He
Hmm.
knows how to grind out results in such games. There is a slight difference in quality of players where the right players can click for Everton and still get them the points, which exactly happened, I feel, with NJI scoring that really good goal. But
Yeah.
yeah, anything that you want to add?
So my point of view is that uh, again, I think the only person who's gonna get something for Everton is India. I think there isn't. I think they're quite toothless. Their striker doesn't score. Grealish had a small purple patch, but I don't think it's gonna process. I don't think he has found his feet properly yet. So if there's no India, they're not gonna score. Having watched a couple of Everton games at least properly, I think they're going to struggle. So that was my thought process. That was my reasoning why I chose that uh, particular kind of scoreline, and I think I'm going to stand by it as well.
Yeah, yeah, fair. All right. That's that for the last game week, and we can go to the predictions for the current week. But any major talking points that you see for the current week's fixtures?
So let me just move on to game week 11.
Yeah,
Uh, Specifically, I think. Wait, let me do one more thing. I'll just make sure we go through the fixtures first before we get onto it. I think from a fixture perspective, I'm really looking forward to two game weeks this week around. It's the City Liverpool, like most people, and the Spurs United, because either way there's going to be turmoil. Either way, there's going to be a lot of fun watching both the games as a neutral.
yeah,
There's going to be a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of goals, hopefully, for us to watch as a neutral, and hopefully, again, I've said hopefully too many times, but I hope my players score. That's
yeah,
majorly what I'm looking for right now.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
need to catch up.
I feel the other game that I'm very keen to look at. I feel there are two other interesting, like potentially interesting games.
Hmm.
Villa Bournemouth, I think, will be a really good game
Okay.
because Villa are also getting into their groove in some way, and Bournemouth would be licking their wounds after the City game and would want to get back to winning ways again. And the
Hmm.
other game is Palace Brighton. Although I've predicted like a 2-0 win for Palace, which seems comfortable on paper, I feel it's going to be an exciting open game to watch.
Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to the Palace Bournemouth game that you previously
Yeah,
watched, because they have very hands-on, tactically astute managers with people who run behind the ball, people who likes combinations, people who like to unlock the play, which
yeah,
is why I've also gone for the 2-2 there, uh, because I see that systems can unlock Palace, and Fabian Hustler is somebody who's able to unlock or create those kind of systems to make sure he gets the best out of his players. And then again, I like some chaos as well. So uh,
true,
that's
true.
there. With respect to the Chelsea Wolves game, is also something very interesting to see. Majorly because Wolves, till now, when we're recording this, still
Yeah,
don't have a manager.
yeah,
Uh, and again, hopefully, the faith that I personally have put into the Chelsea squad or Chelsea assets is going to come true. So that's majorly what I'm looking forward to.
yeah.
Now
I
moving
think
on.
since you, by the
Pranav-
way, since you mentioned on Chelsea assets, just one thing there, and
yeah.
we can touch upon that during the FPL teams that we look at in the dilemmas. I really want to understand where do you stand on Caicedo because I believe 3 or 4 weeks ago, when I was very keen to get Caicedo and I almost got him as part of my wildcard team. I think both of you pushed me hard to say that, oh, if you're getting someone from Chelsea, it should be Enzo. And I think Enzo has also returned, not denying that. But it's just one of those intuitive things whenever I watch Chelsea, like Caicedo was just so hard to miss, right? So, yeah, would like to know where do you stand on it now?
So to correct you, being a Enzo owner, he hasn't returned yet. So
Oh, is it? Not even
that's
once?
not even once.
Oh,
Not
shit.
even
Okay.
once.
Okay.
The last time he returned was the penalty that apparently How Pedro gave him, post which everybody got him, and post that it's been 1 point, 2 points, whatever.
Interesting.
Um, See, I will flip the question and ask you: do you really think Caicedo is going to have this purple patch of score goals and assists uh, as much as he does? Because uh, he currently has been given this free reign of going anywhere and everywhere. He's not playing the kind of Kante role that was there, where Kante was afforded space to go ahead, cut in and score as well. Had he played the Enzo role, I would have definitely wanted to have Caicedo over Enzo.
Okay,
but
so my
he's
answer
not
to that
playing that
is
situation, I guess.
yeah, yeah. My answer to that is first thing, Enzo will now start dropping deeper once Pedro starts playing in a number 10 role, with
Correct.
potentially Delap playing as number 9, right? That's part
Yeah,
one. And with Enzo coming back, Pedro playing the 10, where Pedro just likes to float around, there will be more open, unknown positions for Caicedo to get into. So I am still of the opinion that it's just a case of he's their best player in many ways. So
yeah.
to the previous conversation of getting a defensive midfielder like Casemiro or someone, I know Caicedo is not like an aerial threat or anything, but if you want to get someone who gets you like the def cons plus some creativity going forward, then Caicedo is not a bad shout at all.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Again, I think personally, again, this may be my bias, but I think an Anderson has larger upside
Yeah,
than a Caicedo, uh, especially given the positions that he gets himself in. And if Burnley do perform well this season, it
yeah,
would be on the back of this future England international mainstay star. So again, if it was an either or, I would go for Anderson majorly for the upside than a Caicedo, where we're currently protecting the floor. Definitely, there's 4 points for sure. Is he going to have goals and assists every single game? I'm not really sure. Especially like you said, when a Delap comes in, Pedro comes deeper. That means Caicedo is pushed farther behind,
mm,
uh, along with Enzo as well. So that's where I think this is going to happen. And again, I will have to go back and check on this, which again, unfortunately, Chimpy is not here. I would be very, very keen to understand if all the games that Caicedo has scored or assisted are games in which Pedro has been the striker and not when Pedro is playing the cam. I think I would bet on that as well because there's space afforded for him to move in and slot into as well.
yeah, yeah,
So again,
most likely yes, because I think for most of the games Pedro has started up top. Yeah,
because otherwise Pedro is somebody who will, when he's playing in the midfield, he he basically does the whole outside the box, all of the areas he covers, the 25-30 yards outside the box. Again, I'm not properly articulating myself here, but yeah, I think that's the area he usually
it's
covers, which
five
makes
ten yards outside the 18-yard box. You mean? Yeah, the
yeah,
5 yards
yeah,
outside that. Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
exactly. So which makes Caicedo go further behind. So I think that's going to happen. Um, yeah, so which is why I think Enzo is still the right pick. Unfortunately, he has not returned. Let's
Fair.
see. I have too many not so great picks with me.
All right. I think talking about picks, I think on the predictions are there to see. We'll cover more on predictions on why and what after the game week is over in terms of the
Yeah,
thought process and what's gone behind that. Should we just move on to the FPL dilemmas then for the current week?
yeah. I think when we are doing that, I'll just showcase the teams as well, so that it's easier for everybody
Yeah,
to
maybe we
know
can like
what. And
do one team at a time.
sure.
Otherwise, it
Yeah,
becomes like 50 players to look at once.
yeah. Cool.
Oh, okay. Starting with my team. Yeah, so I've got one free transfer. I think the major talking point is the captain's armband is not on Haaland after having suffered from it 2 weeks, one myself and one from others. Maybe I'm still not learning the lesson, but on the other hand, I just feel Haaland has a tough game if there is to be one.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere if Gabriel is going to give me 6, that makes it to 12. Haaland can still score one goal, which would still end up being 6. And if Arsenal are to do what they do in terms of scoring from a set piece or doing anything from a set piece, then I'd bet on Gabriel being part of it. So that's been my thought process in putting Gabriel there. However, my question is I have one free transfer. To your point on Kudos, is it time to take Kudos out? If yes, who's the person to get in?
So that is a very interesting question. First, I'll start with Gabriel. I thought of all of these reasons, capped him, and then changed him in the last 5 minutes, and I regret that decision because I would have loved to have Gabriel. Uh, so he, so one of the reasons why what I was not sure of Gabriel doing with the Burnley game was him hitting DEFCON because I never thought Burnley were going to get themselves in a situation where Gabriel is going to be afforded chances to clear, block, intercept, and tackle. So that was very surprising for me. I'm very sure he's going to hit DEFCONs in the Sunderland game because of the way that they play, especially with the Isidore out ball that's going to be there. With respect to set pieces, I agree. Uh, these are all the reasons that you listed. I have no questions. I have no queries there. I'm with you. And I think Gabriel is a great stellar pick. I'm not really sure if this game is the right game. The last game would have been the best game. This game because Sunderland uh, could potentially score. Uh, there is a chance. I'm just erring on the side of caution, especially because there's no Gyökeres. So Arsenal are not gonna stretch their defense as much. It's gonna be slightly more compact. It's gonna afford them chances to get the ball off in the midfield as well. So that particular reason could be one of the reasons why the game is not going to be as expansive, which means set piece is going to be more all the more important, which makes Gabriel even more a stellar pick. Again, I don't think he's a bad choice at all. One problem or one of my takeaways from last game week on why I chose Eze. Again, I was thinking or I was thinking of what are my takeaways from my misstep of Eze on choosing Eze as compared to a Haaland or a Gabriel. One of the main questions that I did not ask is if Gabriel, there's a more than larger certainty that Gabriel is going to get a free kick. Sorry, rather a clean sheet. My bad. That means a goal for a midfielder or a striker. Is the person who I'm going to choose going to get at least a goal, if not two? Then that's the reason why I should give him the armband. Otherwise, I should try to protect my floor at least, and then go for the upside later. This was one question I did not ask myself. If I did ask myself this question, I wouldn't have not chosen as a. I would have kept the captaincy to Gabriel or given it to Haaland. Now, with your point, is Haaland gonna score this game week? He has scored 2 goals over the last 8 games with Liverpool. Likelihood is very less. Liverpool shut out Real Madrid. Yes, it's a game at Etihad as compared to Anfield, so that slightly changes things. But still, uh, I think this is one of the best games to cap away from Haaland. And Gabriel is a very, very decent choice, honestly.
Yeah,
It's a
and
long shot,
that
but
that's
yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what I said, right? Like even if Haaland scores one goal, and if Arsenal manage to keep the clean sheet, it's okay. I'll still be on the same points, and it won't
Yeah,
change anything.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But by the way, what on Kudus? Like whom should I get in for
So
Kudus,
again,
or should I hold?
so uh, I think holding has its merits. You're going to go into the international break. Injuries could happen. It affords you flexibility. Uh, if at all you're going to sell Kudus, I think one random shout I would give is Soboslai, given the reliance that Liverpool have had on set pieces. Soboslai takes majority of them, and Soboslai has been hitting defcons. There's a chance that Words is going to be benched or placed somewhere on the left, and Soboslai retains his central attacking midfielder spot as well. So Soboslai is a very, very random side note shout. Again, higher upside, similar to a Caicedo pick that you were mentioning, has all the upside, has a decent base he can create as well. I think he's hit DEFCONs 4 out of the 10 games. So that's still quite decent, honestly. So there are good chances that he could be a good, decent player. Other than that, there is Yeremi Pino, if you want to go slightly differential.
I don't want to
Uh,
go Palace double. Yeah,
So if that's the case, then I think
History hasn't
Soboslai.
been kind to me with balanced doubles.
I
Yeah,
know, I know.
yeah,
And as soon as I also moved away, just they didn't do anything as well. So yeah, that's for another day.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think either role or Soboslai is a decent pick. Otherwise, midfield right now, there's not many decent options, honestly.
How about Iliman and Joy?
You're going for a talisman, I agree, in that particular squad. But are they actually going to score as many goals? Are they actually going to produce as many things? Again, you'll have to look at the fixtures as well. They're not going to go. They don't have as many decent fixtures. If you're looking at fixtures specifically, uh, unfortunately, City and Liverpool play each other. Otherwise, I would have suggested somebody as random as a Cherky or a Doku, because City fixtures turn very very quickly now,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they could be somebody who you can definitely target.
yeah. I think my only other pick was Minte, if possible.
Yeah, Minta is a good shout, honestly. Minta is a very very good shout.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay, let's see. Moving on to the next team.
So I think I will go to my team. In the meantime, you could also check what Chimpy has messaged on his dilemmas, which we could then circle back to him on.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm just gonna make sure my team is only gonna be visible. Again, this is an iterative process, guys, so we'll get better at sharing the screen, showing the teams, etc. Uh, I think if my team is visible, uh, initially, I had started Rodon, given how Nottingham Forest was susceptible to set pieces, and how they've conceded almost over the last 2, 3, 4 game weeks, which is also one of the things that Daesh was also very, very annoyed about. But I think I'm going to give Gakpo a run. He has potential to score against City. Uh, Now, my dilemma is, do I switch to Mateta now or play Bowen once more? Use the two transfers and then do an overall during the international break, ride on the price rises. That is one. The other thing is, uh, do I go the Embuemo route? If so, do I sell Eze and get Embuemo, etc.? That's also one other route that I'm looking at, that I'm contemplating. Uh, because there is surgery that I need to do with my team. I just want to figure out which part to operate first. If I were to call out the people I want to remove from this particular team, from a long-term perspective, I think Kudus definitely somebody I think has fallen off the cliff over the last few weeks. He was quite attacking, quite in the game, but over the last 3, 4 game weeks, his cumulative XG output has been less than 0.15, which is quite uncertain, cumulative over the last 3, 4 games.
0.15?
Yeah, if I
What?
remember correctly.
That
So
is
kudos has
insanely
been.
low.
So I'll list out how his. So against Villa, he had 0. Against Everton, he had 0.09. Against Chelsea, he had 0.10 xg,
Mm-hmm.
which is
0.10, right? Then yeah, 0.19. Okay, less than zero point 0.5, I think. Yeah, total, not
no. I'm just
0.15.
saying over the last 3 game weeks.
Okay, on an average,
So
like in that game, you're saying. Okay,
no,
not
overall
cumulative.
cumulative over the last 3 game weeks, his xg was, again, I
Point
said
two. Yeah.
0.15. It's actually 0.19, but still my point
Yeah,
remains.
yeah, yeah.
He has
That's
been
like wow. That is actually wow. That is insanely low, by the way. Yeah,
exactly, which is my point. So he has to go. He's also nowhere near hugging the touchline. He's not coming in between. I had initially mentioned after his Leeds uh, goals that he is somebody who I think could potentially be a season keeper for me. But the last 3 game weeks has changed my mind about that. And I'm
yeah.
open to changing that opinion from that perspective.
I,
Similarly,
I,
as
by the
a
way, feel he'll have an odd game where he hauls this week. It's just my feeling against United.
yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. Again, that was the Leeds game at the end of the day,
Yeah.
where he hauled in between. But then again, for example, the Wolves game, he didn't do anything. Villa was susceptible. I think Everton were also quite bad. but they couldn't do much. I think it's also Spurs trying to find the rhythm, trying to find form, etc. as well. So Kudus is one somebody who I want to sell. Eze is somebody who I want to potentially look at selling because 7.5 mil, he has returned very, very decently for me, honestly. But then again, I want more impact uh, rather than just one random assist here and there. Enzo for sure, somebody who I want to ship. Pedro, I'm contemplating yes or no. So there are people who I want to move around. There's funds that are already there, which I potentially want to invest in my defense because I think I want Virgil. I want the assurity of Virgil van Dijk. And I want to move back to back four. That's something that I want to do as well, given the defense that I have, because I think that's the way to go forward. My opinion on DEFCON changes lower price midfield assets to better defenders because there's larger upside that's there. Defenders can. So I read a stat where up until now, last season, defenders had 15 10 digit, 10 plus or double digit hauls uh, at this point last season. This season is 3x, 45 times,
Wow.
just because of the addition of DEFCONs. So again,
Interesting.
that changes a lot of things for me.
Yeah.
So I think back four is the way to go.
Mm.
Uh, so I might go for 4-3-3
Yeah.
or four
Just
four two,
just
depending on
just
the
trying
fixtures.
to analyze what's under the water. Like it's like an iceberg stat where on the top you see 3x double digit hauls for defenders, but under the iceberg to get a double digit haul, the defender should have returned something in
Yeah,
most of the occasions.
not
So
necessary. Think about it. No, no, I disagree. I'll do the math.
no,
Two
no,
points for playing.
clean sheet included is a return. Clean sheet is a return, not just
Okay,
a goal
fair,
and
fair.
assist. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
And which goes back to my very previous point of the whole clean sheet thing. It's underrated because most people are getting their 12 points of two Arsenal players that they have in defense. But you would always want to look at defenders who are able to keep clean sheets. And
Yeah,
then
100%.
you
Yeah,
you have a much higher upside from them because you have def cons as well. That is what I was
fair.
coming to with that double digit haul. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. But then again, it's quite easy for them to do a double digit because if you get two from clean sheets, sorry, four from clean sheets, two from appearance at six, DEFCON is eight. Any bonus three or two is just a double digit all.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But you will have to do the clean sheet first, or you are
100%. Yeah,
doing an assist or an go or a goal or whatever. But like one of three returns has to happen. Most likely for a defender is to get a clean sheet, which is then going back to the argument that hey, you actually pick uh which is the only difference being now you are able to pick a center back as your choice in case there is
yes,
full back rotation. Otherwise,
yes.
traditionally you would always go for a full back as your
Full back,
defensive choice. Yeah,
100%. 100%.
yeah,
That's the structural change that has happened in most teams actually.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I think yeah, my initially when I started the week, I wanted to get Mbuemo, take a hit, but then post discussion with Chimpy, etc. And I think I'll roll the transfer, play with this team, and then go into the international break with two transfers, and then do a big
Yeah,
victory
I
model.
think I think it's a week where you can roll. Yeah, the team looks decent enough. Just real
Yeah,
quick on Chimpy's team then. Uh, I feel his team looks quite solid. The Triple Palace bothers me as much as I want to say, but I feel
yeah.
I've actually predicted a 2-0 victory for Palace against Brighton, as exciting as I see that game to be. So I genuinely feel this is a very good team. Haaland has cap. He has also got Saka. He's got yeah, Sar and Richards as well, which is
I think he's going to
quite
outscore
decent.
both of us in this game week.
Yeah, yeah,
That's my hot
pretty
take.
much. I mean,
Yes.
I would go as far as saying he can play Guardiola, but then City have been conceding quite a lot. So
Who do
it's
you
okay to
bench?
keep. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to bench Guardiola as well. Like he's got choices where he can, if he feels Brighton are too attacking. Oh, you know what? Let me pull out Richards. Let me put in Guardiola, and you're literally swapping in equal return folks.
Yeah, I think yeah, uh,
Yeah.
I agree that like he can just keep it as is. Just to quickly go through his observations before we close up, he mentioned about Wolves being the team to target.
Yeah.
Leeds were good as a defensive unit at home, but not away. Game week 12 swing is something that he has mentioned for the internal, which he'll save for the next video.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Madrid were very good, but Villa win was very lucky because of defensive mistakes.
Yes, we
Newcastle
covered that.
away, yeah, Newcastle away is something where Newcastle has not won in the last 8 games, so it was a surprising win for them. Voltamada and Gordon got subbed early, so that's also was concerning for him. So that's why he was potentially contemplating the Voltamada thing. But I think against Brentford, he's a decent keep. I think he should play him.
Yeah.
Haaland. So he has an interesting question. Uh, is Semenyo somebody he can potentially think of selling? Is something that he has posed. Uh, I think Semenyo is also going to AFCON, if I'm correct.
Hmm.
So that's also going to be interesting. That's going to change a lot of templates.
Hmm.
Uh, with respect to the Spurs Chelsea game, he mentioned that Chelsea dominated, which I agree, but they couldn't close anything, and so had two clear chances. So he's gonna keep patience. So am I, hoping that he comes through. And he's also mentioning that Saka is somebody who is going to be patient about, and he's also going to come good. So yeah, that's majorly it from Chimpy's side as well.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. I think we are at the end of it. Any final 2 minutes on the Arsenal and where? What do you think? What's happening? There's so much
So
chatter week in, week out. Yeah.
I I think Arsenal just need to get through this week, this Sunderland game, regroup for the next fortnight, because the week after is going to be a test for us. Majorly because we're going to play Spurs away, followed by the visit of
It's Spurs away,
other
Bayern home,
Spurs.
Chelsea home. Yeah.
Spurs. I think the other way around. Spurs home, Bayern
No,
home,
no, no,
and
no,
then
no, no,
Chelsea home.
no. It's Spurs away, Bayern at the Emirates, and Chelsea away. Yeah, Chelsea away, but then it's for sure it's Spurs away, Bayern home, I think.
Yeah, I just checked the fixtures. I think Tottenham are home. Tottenham are coming to the Emirates.
Oh, then Bayern are also at the Emirates then. Got
Correct,
it.
correct, correct. So
And
Bayern
Chelsea
are
away.
visiting, Spurs are visiting, and Chelsea it's away. So I think that week is the most important week, and I hope Martinelli is back. I hope Havertz is back in some capacity. I hope Gyökeres is also back in some capacity. Because I like Merino has there was also a very interesting stat. I think Merino in the last uh, 1 year or 6 months has scored some 18 odd goals.
Hmm.
That's more than that's compared to 29 goals that he scored in the previous 6 years. So Merino has just stepped up massively, but we can't just rely on Merino and the other players to just come up. We need our strikers, we need our attackers. Um, so that's going to be fun, and it's also very interesting for Arsenal to see if we're able to keep the Bayern attack at bay. If we're able to keep a clean sheet against Bayern, I think I think that's going to be the one of the biggest achievements,
I think that's
especially
the
in the
game
attack.
of the season. Just for another stat attack here. Bayern have played 16 competitive games this season, and they are on
Yeah,
16 wins, zero draws, and zero losses.
yeah,
Uh, they are the highest scoring team, I think, in top five leagues in Europe, if I'm not wrong. So
yeah.
it's a classic unstoppable force versus immovable object kind
Object.
of a fixture. So that's going to be a cracker. I feel I'm going to change my Arsenal prediction slightly, and I think Sunderland might score, and it might be a 1-2 kind of a game. Where it might just be a late goal potentially. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, this is the week. If there is one game that Arsenal just need to get through somehow, it's the Sunderland game. Like they will
yeah.
take a
We just need
one
to grind
two.
it out.
They'll take a
Is
1-0, 1-2, whatever it is. It won't like the record books won't matter as long as it is 3 points. on the table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I think it's one of those games. And my last thought is if Arsenal are able to keep a clean sheet across after the international break across all the three games, I think we're going to go very, very far in both the competitions. Very, very, very far.
No, I
So,
mean 100%. I think going far in the Premier League is a given, is an expectation now.
yeah,
Yeah,
Champions League as well.
yeah. Champions League also. I feel it's going to be a very good contest, irrespective of whichever way the result goes.
Yeah,
Uh, I think it's more an expectation now of the collective group that they need to really perform well. But looking forward to actually having players back. There's Odegaard, there's Havertz,
absolutely.
there is Noni, there is
Yeah.
Gyökeres. Oh, yeah, so much,
So
so much.
if they're able to come back, I think we should aim for victories across all the three games. I think that should be
We'll
the
see.
level.
Yeah, but there is a practical aspect of it which I want to be very, very, very vocal about, which is somewhere getting missed, and which is where some of the like fans from other clubs have started calling Arsenal fans more and more delusional that it's already getting
Yeah,
to their head in some way, which I believe is true, by the way, for some section of that fans who are like, oh, you know what? We need to win every game. Oh, we need to keep a clean sheet in this game. Oh, like just you said, right? I know you don't mean it that, oh, it's okay, we drop points. But then, like that expectation that, oh, if we keep clean sheet in those three games or if we win those three games after the international break, then we have a good chance. I would beg to differ and say that even if we drop points in any of those three games, it is not going to change the long term outlook for the season. And it should not. Like
100%. Yeah.
let's assume we lose against Bayern for
Mm.
all the good reason, where it's an excellent Bayern team that we are going to face. Nothing changes. The season does
Yeah.
not go for a toss. Nothing happens. Sunderland away, it might so happen that we are so short of players come the weekend. It might just be a 1-1 draw, and that's
Yeah.
fine. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah. Situations. It's again. It's one game to grind it out. And again,
Yeah,
I want Emirates to turn into the fortress that every team wants their home stadium to be, which is why I want, like, if we are able to stop Bayern from scoring, I think we will win that game because the way we play at Emirates is very different to how we play away,
yeah.
and we will attack them. We will pummel them with our attack. So that's majorly why I'm
Yeah, but
on.
I just want to be very practical in this by saying
Yeah,
it's
100%.
okay. Between now and first week of Jan, there are going to be moments where it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be places where the team loses some steam here or there with those multiple games happening towards Christmas and New Year. So all of that will come into play. I think it shouldn't change anything in terms of outlook for the rest of the season. And yeah,
Yeah,
ultimately one game at a time is the best way to look at it.
100%. Yeah,
Yes.
I think
All right. With that, let's call it time. Uh, Thank you and signing off. Bye bye.
bye everyone.